Hello and welcome to another video blog post from cmsquickstart.com. I'm your host Doug Van, and today we're going to talk about webenabled.com. Go check it out, webenabled.com. Now when you get there, it may look like a regular big old shared host, but it's not. What is it? Well, we'll talk about that in just a second. But who are we? We are cmsquickstart.com. Check us out at cmsquickstart.com. Check out the, you may think we have snazzy looking themes, but they're actually installation profiles with pre-configured content types and blocks and views, carousels, slideshows, lots of really cool stuff. What it is a turnkey method of getting your site deployed very rapidly. I am Doug Van. Check me out at dougvan.com. But back to Web Enabled. What we're going to do right now is create an account. Create, develop, and deploy any PHP-based application. Start from scratch or build on top of an existing application on our library. Drupal, Joomla, WordPress, Elg, Magento, Silverstripe, dashboard that includes easy and intuitive backup and restore, domain management, team management, and project interface. I've been through some of this. I'm going to scratch the surface here because there's so much going on, and I'm just going to use the free portion, and that's like you get a 30-day free trial. It really shows off a lot of what they do, but not everything. And I'm not on commission or anything from this. I'm just telling you this is a pretty cool thing. I only recently became aware of it, and I wanted to show it off. So here we go. Sign up. When you hit the sign up button, it gives you the information about the price structure, and this is what you have for free and what you don't get. So you can look through that. We're just going to go ahead and sign up is right here. And here's the page asking you for the usual information. I'm going to fill that out offline and come back in a second. And after you've filled out everything here, you can head down and it asks you for the address you want to use to manage all this. So you're going to get a subdomain, and we're going to call it QMS Quick Start. Create my account. You're going to get an email notification telling you that you've created an account. It'll have some login information for you there. Now here we go. You want to head over to My Dashboard. And this is a Drupal installation. You're looking at a Drupal website right here. This whole thing is powered by Drupal. Very, very cool. And there is a 2.5-minute video here that's very informative, of course, and you can watch that too. But right now you're watching me. So the default project, the project is a container that contains the sites you're going to have. You can have 2 instances of any site, and let's just go ahead and start this default project here. Let's go in here, and let's change the name of default project. We'll call it my first project. And again, this is entirely powered by Drupal, which is why I love this. So now inside here, inside the first project, okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is take this project, we just called it my first project, and go inside by clicking on it and starting a new application. Now check this out. This is the list of applications you can install. Now this is nothing new to a lot of you. You've used Fantastico maybe on a cPanel or another Plesk interface or something. And getting applications installed on a hosting platform is not a new thing. But what I'm going to show you here is that once we install something, it's tightly connected to your panel, your Drupal panel here that manages things. Let's go ahead and go with Acquia Drupal right now. And notice you can do Drupal 7 Alpha 3, so you can test Drupal 7 on this. We're going to give this a name. I'm going to call it AD6 because it is Acquia Drupal 6. Now here's the advanced options that are very, very cool, very important. There's a shell access on here. I'm going to call it AD6. I'm going to give it a password. And if you have the paid plan, you can change the domain. It's going to give us a subdomain to use to access all this. But if I wanted to use ad6.dougvan.com, I could do that if I had the paid plan. But for now, it'll give us a subdomain to use for testing purposes. And this is all still free. I haven't paid a dime. This will all be alive for 30 days, and I can do what I will with it. Now, what do we have? We've installed Acquia Drupal, or actually the site has installed Acquia Drupal, the newest version of it. And it gives us some information here. You can read that on your own leisure, but here's the most important stuff down here. It says that the URL to go look at our site is ad6, that's the name we gave it, .dev3.webenabled.net. And here's your SSH credentials to do command line Linux, log into it. And the Acquia Drupal install, of course, you can go to this page /user. It'll ask you for username and password. Admin and password is right there, and that's pretty nifty. That's a password I chose earlier on in the screen. So this is cool. Now, is that it? We've installed Acquia. Is that the end of the show? No. The web-enabled interface here. This is all done in Drupal. This is a Drupal site you're looking at. Now we're going to manage this site without even logging into the Acquia Drupal site. Let's go back to the dashboard. And there's so much we can do here. I'm just going to kind of hit a couple things. So here's 86, right? So under my first project is 86. I could also have an 86 dev in here. I can clone, well, okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Here we go. Let's go to manage the AD6, which is an instance of Aqua Drupal under my first project. Now I can clone it right here. I can use the clone, and I can call it AD6 dev, so I can do some more crazy things there. And if I like it, then go repeat it on the AD6 site. So you can create an instant dev environment just by hitting a button. Let's do something funny over here with Drush. Now, if you haven't used Drush, Drush 3 is what most people are using right now. It's easy to install. There are so many videos on how to install Drush and get it going, but you have to have access to your server at a very high level to get that done. So this is a GUI for Drush, and Drush is a backend for the GUI of Drupal. So we have a GUI to the backend, a GUI to the command line interface to the backend. It's a vicious cycle. Let's go take a look at modules. Now this list coming up here is a list of all the modules enabled or otherwise. Here's the nomenclature for you. When you see enabled, obviously it's enabled. When you see not installed, that means the module is sitting in the folder, but not in the modules folder, but it's not been enabled yet. So enabled and not installed. Let's go through here. Let's find the blog module, because blog is typically not enabled. And there it is, not installed. So we're going to install, or actually enable, before it installs itself. Drop down to the bottom and save our changes. And what I'm doing here is I'm impacting my Aqua Drupal site, and I've never even logged into it before. I'm doing it all from this GUI here. Now you can imagine, if I have lots of projects and lots of installs and what have you, I'm controlling them from a central location. That's pretty cool. And this core status and core update, I can update things just from here. This is awesome. So what have we done? I've just told it to enable the blog module on my Aqua Drupal site. It says blog API was enabled successfully. So what happened? Well, because I clicked the blog API and not the blog module, it tells me blog API was enabled successfully. And you can imagine if I'd actually pressed or hit the enable for the blog module itself, that would be the one that was turned on. Now at the bottom of the page, look at this. All we have in here is the only modules available to us right now to play with is the core Drupal 6 modules, plus all the extra contrib modules that Aqua puts in there, which really is an excellent list in and of itself. But you know what's not in there? The Twitter module is not in there. So I'm going to type in Twitter and hit my Enter key. Now what's going to happen? And that says Download Project. Twitter is a project. And here it is. Project Twitter 6.x-2.6 downloaded to the Sites All Modules directory. So let's find it. And here it is. The Twitter module, already not installed. Now since the Twitter module is not installed, we're going to enable it. Drop down to the bottom and save our changes. So what have I done? I've installed Aqua Drupal, the newest version. I've enabled some of the core modules that were available, but they were not enabled yet, so I enabled them. I reached out and grabbed the Twitter module from the project page and brought it in, and then subsequently enabled it as well. That's pretty cool, and I haven't even been in the interface yet, and this has all been done from my web-enabled panel. Very, very cool. So what else can you do with web-enabled? Over here is a list of all the things you can do. You can delete the whole thing. You can clone it, like I mentioned before. Once you have your site to a certain stage, you can make a clone of it and go goof off over there. Now backup and restore. You can create backups. It backs up your file structure and your database. Now might be a good time to take a look over here at the People tab. Again, imagine that I have 4 or 5 projects, and each project has 1, 2, or maybe 3 sites per project. But you can add people in here, and they can come in and they can co-maintain things for you. So if you need to give access to a partner or a team or whatever, you can do that. So that's where the People comes in. Back to our dashboard and back to our project panel. So here's the Aqua Drupal 6. I'm going to manage this. PHPMyAdmin. If you want to get inside the database and play around. Now PHPMyAdmin is pretty fun. I can do everything with a command line. For a quick and dirty edit of something, or you got to check something out, it really is a good tool. It really is. You've got all your logs. You can reset the password. So if you've been locked out, you've forgotten your password, change it right there. That is sweet. And honestly, there's a lot more you can do with all this, but we're not going to get into it right now. Go get a free account at webenabled.com and check it out for yourself. I've been your host, Doug Van. You can check me out at dougvan.com. And this whole podcast is brought to you by cmsquickstart.com. Check us out. Check out our profiles, our installation profiles. Very nice. Thank you so much.